Hello everyone and welcome. This is Adrian. Thank you for joining me, and today we are going to talk about some of my initial impressions of Stellaris, the new grand strategy game released by Paradox. The footage that you're viewing is footage from my German Reich campaign in Stellaris. You should go check it out. So I've had the game for 2 days. It came out just yesterday, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I think about the game and how it feels and how it looks. Overall, I'm really impressed with the game. I was kind of a little bit iffy about Paradox doing a space game, and the release date, when Stellaris released, had me a little iffy. It released earlier than Hearts of Iron 4, so I was really doubting how long this game had been in development, if it was tested, if it had been, properly QA'd, and there was that quality assurance aspect of the game. But so far, I'm really impressed. The game is awesome. Some of the good things about the game is that it looks gorgeous. It looks really good on the Clausewitz engine. Easy to run. It runs really quick. It looks amazing. It looks really clean. The UI is clean. The user interface is nice and crisp, and it's not hard to really see all the information that you need to see in any moment. The game is highly addictive. I've put in only 3 to 4 hours in these past 2 days because I personally have been busy with school and such. But overall, it's an awesome game. It's really addictive. I want to play it like every day, all the time, more and more. The governments and the ethics for the traits and such that you can customize your government with and your species with, they're really quite varied. And so I feel like, especially over lengths of time, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, you can play a lot of different play styles in this game, which is pretty interesting. It's a problem that most video games, especially strategy games, have, is that their factions and their units and such always seem to blend in and kind of feel a little too similar to each other. But here, there's just something about Stellaris and the way that the game is built that really kind of makes every experience feel unique. So I really look forward to trying out some different governments and some ethics and traits species-wise later on. One of the biggest... I would actually say that the thing that makes this game a masterpiece is its focus not only on external growth and growing wide, as they say, but also growing tall and focusing on internal development, specifically when you build and grow your colonies, how you build them, what buildings you focus on, what buildings you build, and what you don't build. There's a huge emphasis on growth rather than, say, expansion. It's one of the best aspects that I think they took from their Victoria 2 game. Victoria 2 was always focused on growth. It wasn't so much about expanding per se. It wasn't about expanding, wide all the time. It was really more about growing up your population and your infrastructure and your military and building up with what you had rather than trying to go and taking it from someone else. So I would say that aspect of the game really keeps Stellaris fresh and really unique. You can sit on your resources, you can sit on your own for 100 years, and you're not going to be in the same place that you started out. That, to me, is what makes this game really something else. Something that I didn't anticipate. Maybe a lot of people didn't anticipate it. It's something that some games leave out. So I'm really glad about that. The balance feels good. Everything is constantly keeping you on your toes. It keeps you striving to improve yourself, improve your efficiency, improve the efficiency of your empire. Research more tech. Tech is a big one. You always got to keep up with the technological game, especially since the larger your population grows, the more expensive technology becomes to research. So you really kind of have to balance that wide versus tall. So those are all the good things about the game. I will admit there are some less than good things. The controls can take some getting used to. Like, for example, when events pop up, there's a hotkey to close the event screen. The hotkey is Enter, which is kind of weird because in Europa Universalis IV, the hotkey is actually C, the letter C, the C key on your keyboard for close, C for close. Hopefully that'll get patched. It's just a little thing, but I don't know. It's weird to me. The controls take some getting used to. Binding things to the number keys, can take some getting used to, and the F keys, like F1, F2, to open up different screens. I feel like maybe that could be a little more intuitive, but that's just me. Probably the biggest problem with the game right now is that the game could be a bit slow in the early game. It really kind of encourages people to fast forward a little bit in the early game, which I think is a flaw, kind of. Victoria 2 doesn't exactly have that problem. You could play at speed 1 or 2 or 3 in Victoria 2 and grow, and that's that, and it doesn't get slow. Whereas here it can be a bit slow. Not a huge deal because it really picks up after, just a couple years inside the game, but it's still something to consider. Probably the biggest pet peeve of mine is that the user interface can get cluttered really fast. After about 10 or 15 years, and there's a lot of planets explored, there's a lot of details on the screen, it can be a bit overwhelming. Just for me anyway. Usually all the information that's on the screen itself is necessary, but it just seems like there's so much of it at one time. You've got numbers, you've got symbols, resources, you've got fleets. Your outliner will keep a track of some things, but still, it feels like it's a little much. It's not that huge of a deal, though. I feel like those are things that can be improved over time. The core structure of the game, how it feels, how it functions, is great. It really is great. It's awesome. So, those are just some of my impressions about the game. We're going to be playing it a lot. I do encourage you to, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. I will be playing this game a lot. We're going to be playing this game for who knows how long. If you like this video, please press the like button. If you dislike this video, press the dislike button. And I hope to see you guys around. Thank you.